let's just say if it loads, I'm going to put in the sniper shot in here.
Sixto's good if you already know what you're doing.
He's really good. Actually.
So when you open it up and it looks like this is not the cash strap strategy. So those of you that are new, this is not the cash strap strategy. So you have to go to the top left-hand corner, click strategies, and click cash trap. Then it's going to load up. And here we go. So this is the new cash trap 2.0 strategy that one of the top educators uses this exact same strategy. His name is Matthew Thayer. He actually came up with the strategy about 2 years ago, and from there, became a seven-figure trader. And that's within a couple years. So I mean that is incredible. Okay, guys, this guy came from nothing, came knowing nothing Forex, came into the academy, learned trading from other top traders that are in the academy, and figured out a way, a strategy that's his style of trading. That he likes to trade, and certain pairs that he likes to trade. And then within a matter of few years became a seven-figure trader because of this strategy. And what I love about it is that they were always updating it, they were always refining it, so that all the students could have success within trading because of this strategy. Okay, so there's plenty of strategies. There's some of us that know a handful of strategies to use. But for right now, this is actually the hottest strategy in HFX Academy. A lot of people love this strategy. And I'm going to go ahead and explain exactly how to use this correctly. So there are ways that you use it the wrong way, obviously you're not going to profit. So there are do's and don'ts when you're using the cash trap strategy. Now, I'm going to show you exactly the way to use it and the way I use it. So I change up a little bit of a couple of things here and there, but really not much, because you can use this the way it is right now. So one thing you want to do when you're up, this software is up and running, the alert panel is going to be on the right. So the very first one, USD CAD, all right, it pulls up and it's showing you USD CAD. This is a 5-minute chart, so each candle is 5 minutes. Now, one thing that you don't see on the chart, can anyone guess what you don't see on the chart? Anybody?
The EMA.
Put in the chat. What don't you see on this chart? And it's the first thing that I scan for. Whenever I'm looking at a chart, it's the first thing I look for to know the overall trend. What's the one? There you go. Yeah. Yes, the 200 EMA. That's the one thing that you don't see on this chart, but that's one thing that I would have added to it. So any of you guys been with me for a while, you know that I always have the 200 EMA line in here. But let me just tell you, for this strategy, really the main thing when you're using this strategy, because they don't have the 200 EMA line, they make it a point to put the strength of the currency on the right-hand side. So if you're looking at the alert panel, all right, and you see USD, it says 67 just dropped, so now we have some new alerts come up, okay? So USD CAD, we're looking at USD CAD. I'm going to click it again. Okay, the USD CAD, it's at 69, and the Canadian is at 30. So the Canadian pair is weaker than the USD, all right? So 69 and the Canadian is 30. So what that means is if the number on top is greater, okay, than the number on the bottom, what do you think we're going to be looking for?
Calls.
We're going to be looking for buys, okay? So if the number on the top is less than the number on the bottom, so if the bottom pair or the currency is greater than the top, then what are we going to be looking for?
Puts.
sell opportunities. Now, this is the way I trade. All right, guys. So this is what you're going to be looking for. So you want to go with the strength. All right. So that means you're not going to trade every arrow that pops up here. All right. So if you want your win ratio to increase, you have to go with the strength. Okay. You want to go, the trend is your friend. Just put it that way. The trend is your friend. The strength is your friend. Even though you could probably win, you know, a 3-minute trade on this arrow, you see how it's going down? But these are trades I don't want to risk. These are trades I would rather wait until it pulls back. This is what I would consider a pullback. So if it's pulling back, I want to go with the trend. Okay, guys? So let me go ahead and there you go. All right. So I want to go with the trend. So if it's going up and the strength is at 69, it's greater than the Canadian, the USD is greater than the Canadian. I want to wait for the pull, just let it go down and then wait for the pullback. And you see these lines right here, these are support and resistance lines. I would want to wait to see it come down, hit the support, then look for an opportunity to get into a 3-minute buy using the cash trap strategy. All right. So another thing that I would wait for, and for this to be a good opportunity to get into a trade, these are some of the things that I'll be looking for. See this indicator right here? It's got a black line. It's coming down. I'm paying attention to that indicator, which is called stochastic. And I'm paying attention to this indicator, the RSI. Now, what I like about the new update, everyone, well, those of you that's been with me for a while, you know I love my RSI indicator and my settings. So I'm going to go and add it. Actually, what I did here, I actually saved it. So this is pretty cool. You can add it and then save it. Load chart, because I already saved it. I just named it F2F. There we go. So now I have my RSI down here and it's on my setting. So if you double click it, you can change the setting. So your upper limit is 60, your lower limit is 40. This is the sweet spot for the RSI. Okay, and it's, if you guys have been trading this way, type some 333s. I've been using the 60-40, RSI, and that has helped you tremendously. Give me some 323s in the chat. This is the sweet spot. So the 60-40, that's the sweet spot. The reason being, is that the RSI, if it's below the 40, if it's below the 40, that's telling me that this right here, what's going on right here, it's not a clear reversal. Okay, so right here, these are clear reversals right here. Okay, why is that? Because it respected the 40. Now, if I see it below the 40, if I see this RSI line go below the 40, then that means it's not going to do a clear reversal when it hits the bottom of the Bollinger Band right there. It moved on. I mean, it's a good thing that it did that, because that's one of the things that I want you guys to be aware of. Every time it updates, it'll sometimes it'll stay at the same pair that you're looking at, but when it updates, it'll switch up on you to the newest alert. All right, so I'm actually still messing around with this, the new update on the chart. Now, if there's a way to shut that off, if there is, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I don't think there is a way to shut off that refresh where it switches, the pair from you. So when it does, it'll give you the first pair, the newest alert. It'll pop up and change what you're looking at, the currency pair that you're looking at. So All right, what were we looking at? We were looking actually USD CAD, weren't we? We were on USD CAD up, but it erased my drawing. Yeah, because it was at 59. It was at 60 something, right? Okay, so for example, guys, it just did it right here. Weren't we just looking at USD CAD? Man, which pair, guys? Which pair were we just looking at? I thought it was USD CAD. Yeah, it was USD CAD. Yeah. Okay, so let me just double check. Okay, 60/40, everything is still there. Settings is correct on how I would use it. All right, so all right, so now it's on an upward trend. Let me just go back because I didn't explain that. I'm gonna go ahead and explain it right here. The RSI, why it's important for the 60/40, and what it's telling me. So you can get. Let me see if I can circle this and I want to erase it right here. Okay, so you can get a cross down. You'll see a cross down on both these indicators. It'll cross down, it'll cross down. One of the things you want to look for are these B's and S's. So the B's are buys, the S is for sale, okay? And that's the DMI extreme for those of you that want to add it onto your charts. And so remember what I said I'd wait for the pullback? Well, that's what it did. It pulled back, and then the new 5-minute candle, guess what happened? That's what I'm looking for. The trend is your friend. You're going to go with the trend, and that would have been a 3-minute buy on the next candle, on this candle, this brand new 5-minute candle. Now, why would I've known to take a buy when the arrow was red? I was already preparing that I was going to get in for a buy for 3 minutes. Well, the reason being is because the RSI is way above 60, okay? Look at this. Now this is nice. This is what you want to see when it's trending, all right? If you see the RSI above the 60, then that means that relative strength, okay, is pushing up. Even though you might get a cross down, you see these cross downs, a cross down, it's still on an uptrend. All right, so I don't need to wait for this black line to go all the way down and then cross up, and the second RSI go all the way down and then cross up. It's not going to happen that way, especially if it's on a trend. And if it's a strong trend, most of the time it's going to respect this 50 area, all right? Like right about here, the 50 zone on both indicators. It'll respect it. It won't go all the way down and then cross up. So I don't need it to do that if I'm going to take the trade on a trend, all right? And this is a small trend. This is not even a big trend. This is just a small trend, okay? I still consider this, part of the consolidation phase. But within the consolidation phase, you have these small little trends happening, all right? And that's how you take advantage of it. And that's what I would be looking for. How long is this happening until it'll reverse and come right back down and do one of these? Get my paintbrush. Okay. So it came all the way up. Hovered up above here for a little bit. And it refreshed on me. Okay, so now you guys see one of the things, like if you're going to draw up and put your trend lines and all that, and once it refreshes, it'll disappear. So you guys are witnessing that right now, okay? But that's one of the things, you just have to work with it. But so far, in the past couple days, guys, I've just been using this setup right here, looking at the strength, and I've been looking at the strength on my phone. For those of you guys that have heat wave, okay, the currency heat wave, it's actually very accurate. Like it might be off just maybe a couple digits, but if you are comparing your heat wave currency strength meter on your phone, and this one, I always rely on this one. The strength on the app, on the software, is actually very, very close to what it says on heat wave. Okay, so I went literally today, and I normally don't do this, but I was having fun this morning, all right, when I was trading, because I was just going with the trend, and I did over 20 trades this morning, and I might have just taken a lesson like 3 times over 20 trades. And it was, and that's rollover too. So it's not that I didn't roll over. I did roll over a few times because I was taking 2-minute trades and 3-minute trades. So it depends on how fast the market is moving or how slow it is. Like right now, the market's pretty slow. Now, if we move back, let's see, we move back in the morning. Where is that? Right about here. Okay, so there's a trend right here. This was the morning. I caught that trend on USD. I also caught USD JPY. There was a nice trend happening on USD JPY in the morning. Where's the time? I need to fix the time on this. This is not the right time. It shows 3:25 right now. Okay, so this morning it was like this. This is what it looked like this morning, right here. All right, so when it's trending like this, guys, it's so easy for the setup when you're setting up for a trend, because all you're doing is waiting for the currency to come up, hit this resistance line. Let me just expand that. Double click it, just expand the whole thing for you guys so you can see it even easier. All right. So look at this trend. Whenever it's a strong trend like this, guys, there was a moment where USD was like 4. The strength was 4, okay? And everything else was like 20, 30, 40. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like this is like taking candy from a baby, because the strength of USD was so low that all you had to do was wait for these pullbacks, 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute. And if you're looking at the 1 minute chart, I mean, you'll see even more opportunities with the 1 minute chart. But since we're going by the cash strategy, what you're doing is you're waiting for this type of opportunity. All you're doing is waiting, because it's in a trend. You're waiting for these pullbacks to hit. All right, to keep going for sells, keep going for sells, keep going for sells. Now, this right here, you would have to pay attention to the indicators. Okay, like what is the indicators? What are the indicators doing? Okay, so let me double click so you guys can see what the indicators do. All right, so this pullback right here lasted a bit longer. Now look what the RSI did. It broke the 40 zone, right? So when it's below like this is telling me, and it's not hitting the 40, it's staying below the 40, not touching it at all, stay below the 40, then that's trending. You see how everything's crossing up a little bit, cross up, cross up. All right. Go back again, zoom up, see every time it refreshes, it goes right to the beginning. Okay, where was I? Right here. Okay, so you guys can see that. So when it stays below the 40 like that, that's telling me we're in a downtrend. This is a strong downtrend. It did a pullback, all right? And when it gets close to the 40, you just have to wait. You got to be patient and to see what it's about to do. And you want to consistently look at the strength. What is the strength doing when it gets to the middle of the Bollinger Band? What is the RSI doing? And what is the strength on this side doing? Is it changing? is the USD becoming stronger than the JPY. So these are some of the things that you have to look for before taking the trade. You always got to pay attention to the strength of it. Now, also, you have to pay attention to what? The time. So when did this occur? When that strong pullback happened? Top of the hour. Okay, so that's, I know this might be a lot of information right now, especially for someone that just started, but I will upload this. I think I'm going to upload this to Facebook and YouTube this evening. So top of the hour, some of you guys that are have been trading with me for a while, that's one of the things that you would have looked at. And, you saw this nice engulfing candle right here, and then what time was it occurring? 5 minutes before the top of the hour. That is always a moment where you're going to predict that there's going to be some type of reversal happening. So that's exactly what happened. It was the top of the hour. How do I know it's the top of the hour? Well, because it says it right here on the bottom. For the that are new, the time is right here, and it's telling you it's the top of the hour right there. Okay, and I need to update my time zone here, because I truly believe that's the wrong time, but it is the top of the hour for that. All right, so 30 minutes, you guys can see a nice reversal happen. Look at that pullback, 30 minutes in the hour. So those of you guys that don't know, also Evan Cabral teaches this. This is where I learned it from. Evan Cabral, he teaches time strategies, so intervals. So once it's like top of the hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then top of the hour again, you'll usually see some type of movement like this. So be prepared. Hold your horses when getting in on a trade, especially when it's like within 30 minutes into the hour or top of the hour. And that's when that nice pullback happened right after 30 minutes. Bam, took everybody out. I was getting used to doing reversals. And the banks and institutions can see this. They see exactly what we see. So if it's trending and they see that we're capitalizing on all these reversals on a trend, of course they're gonna get their money too. And this is what happens. Okay, you see these huge engulfing candles, and those are the moves that they're making their money too. Okay, so that's why it's such a huge market. I think it's like more than $7 trillion a day now. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. Obviously, you would have had the arrow here, and then if you were to see the arrow, the arrow might have been a red arrow right here, but it totally reversed on us. Why would there have been a red arrow on this blue one? Well, because it's crossing down. You had two cross downs, and a cross down on the RSI as it was going. So there could have been a red arrow here, and you would have thought that would have been a beautiful setup for a reversal. But those are some of the things that we have to pay attention to. Is one, RSI, what time it is when we're getting into the trade. Is it 30 minutes into the hour? Is it the top of the hour? That's something that you just have to pay attention to, especially if you're a new trader. Set an alarm. I said this before on another training. If you're not used to making it into a habit of looking at the time before you're trading, just set an alarm 5 minutes before, 30 minutes and top of the hour at least, and 45 minutes. I would do that one too. Just set an alarm 5 minutes just to go off, just to remind you, hey, pay attention to the time, before you get into a trade. So that's exactly what I did in the beginning when I started trading. Actually, I still have those alarms on my phone. I just turned them off because I don't need them anymore, but they're still there. I could just switch it back on. And that's what I did. I paid attention to the time, and right before I got into the trade. And if you're using cash trap, if you're going to take the arrow, make sure that the strength goes with the arrow. So if it's pointing down, if you have a red arrow, you want to make sure that the strength is less than the bottom currency. Okay, so USD is less than JPY, which is not. It's not. So I would wait until I have an up arrow and we have some up movement going up like this. Okay, and it's nice to see that the RSI is actually on the top half, okay, of your shaded part of the RSI between the 60 and 40. So that's giving me an indication that this movement is still moving upward, okay? So it's still moving upward. It hasn't passed yet the 60, which is okay, but I would still wait. Here, erase that. I would still wait for that up arrow, and I would still wait for, you know, for the candles to start going my way when the strength is stronger than the other pair. Okay, USD is stronger than JPY. All right. So with that being said, yeah, this is how I use it. This is what I'm looking for, and I know there's indicators that say S and B, buy and sell. For me, I don't really use those. I mean, those are great to have as another indicator, you know, to tell you like, hey, this is a good time to get in. But as you can see, you see this cross up happen before the B popped up. All right, and I've used this, and I've seen that a lot happen. But it's just another, you know, indicator that's saying like, hey, that's another confirmation that you did get in the right trade. You know, so a B came in. So I can actually deal without this indicator. I wouldn't need it to get into the trade. Like these three indicators right here are perfect. All right, and you guys know the 200 EMA for anyone that's new that's looking at this. Let me go ahead and I'll just open up a chart for you so that you can see what I'm talking about when I say 200 EMA. Okay, so right here, see this aqua line right here? That's my 200 EMA right there. We're looking at a 5-minute chart. This is Euro USD. Let me look at a USD JPY. This is where I made my money. Okay, this morning, oof. Let me tell you guys, it was nice. This morning was really nice. This is all I waited for. These pullbacks. All right, so this aqua line is the 200 EMA. It counts 200 candles in the market and gives you your overall trend. If you see the 200 EMA, and when I scan the market, first thing I'm looking at, where's my 200 EMA line? Is it above or below? If it's above, if I see it above, actually, if I see it break, especially in the morning, if I see it breaking out, okay, and it's actually going out this way, I'm like, ooh, there's a trend about to happen. I'm going to capitalize on this trend, all right? So if you want to add this indicator, you just, you know, you can just go in here, type moving average. Let's see, where would it? All right, I just put this one on. All right, you can do both. Moving average right here, and then you put in 200 EMA. Let me erase this. Okay, so for those of you guys that are in the academy, this is the Evan Cabral indicator. You know, if you just type in Evan in here, you'll find it. It'll say Evan Cabral strategy, and it'll look similar to this. I just turned off a lot of the stuff that was added to it. So that's what I'm looking for. So the main purpose I want to show you is the 200 EMA. If I see it, you know, breaking through the currency, and it's, you know, clearly going in a certain direction, which is above, we're in a trend. Now, if it's below the candles, then the candles would be going up. All right, so if you're new, this is an example. It's an upward trend happening. It's not a big trend, but it's an upward trend. The 200 EMA line is below, and it's just giving you an overall, you know, trend. And this is just visual for me. So if I'm looking at the charts very quickly, and you can see how I have my pairs on the right, and I'm just clicking through the pairs and seeing which one is in consolidation and which one is trending. That's how I choose, you know, which pair I'm going to trade. So if I see a nice trend, I will get in the trade and wait for the pullback on the trend. Just wait for currency to come back and then get in on the sell if it's a bearish trend like this. All right. And that's what I did, you know, using this software, the cash wrap software. You know, it, even though I didn't need the arrows, but it was nice to see the arrows pop up. And I'm like, oh, you know, the pullback came, the arrow came up, and it was just another, you know, indicator on top of all the indicators I use. And it was a nice confirmation to get in on a trade. And that's why I posted my results this morning. Man, I took so many trades. I won a lot this morning. So, but yeah, that's it. Let me see if we have any questions in here. Yeah, you know what? I did go up top here, and let me see. I tried to add it, but it doesn't seem to add. So let me see. When I click it, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't do it. I didn't mention it right here because I did try it before, and it won't allow me to add the 200 EMA line on here. So, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine because it gives you the strength on the right hand side. Okay, so that's what you're paying attention to, and that's how you use this strategy. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed that training, give me some 333s in the chat, and you see exactly how I used it, what I'm looking for, what the RSI that I indicator that I added. Awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. All right. Okay, guys. So that is it for Tuesday's training. I hope you guys enjoy. You guys have a great night and smash the market tonight. And, you know, use this 2.0 and